The Lament Exotic Sword has been put into Destiny 2 Beyond Light since the first completion of the Deep Stone Crypt raid, and boy, this is an exotic weapon that you need in your life. First of all, it's a chainsaw crossed with a sword, plus it has super high DPS, and this is one of the flagship exotic weapons in Destiny 2 Beyond Light, and today I'm going to go through the whole quest, plus some tips and some tricks to help you save time on many of the steps. So the following is a guide for how to get the Lament Exotic Sword in Destiny 2 Beyond Light. And if you're new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for all the latest Destiny 2 content and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. So the Lament quest finally went live in the game this past weekend, so let's have a look at the steps. So step 1, we've got to find 3 dead Exos on Europa. So there's 9 in total around Europa, but you only have to find 3. So each dead Exo gives you some nice lore explaining Clovis Bray, how he came to Europa to seek immortality and combined Vex Radiolarian fluid and the darkness to help create the Exos. So here are the ones I found. So there's one out there in the open at Cadmus Ridge on a snowy hill approximately in the middle of the location. There's one at the end of the Perdition Lost sector in Cadmus Ridge 2 and it's leaning up against a wall, and there's one in the Concealed Void Lost sector at the end, and that is near the chest. So once you've found those Exos, it's time to go to the next step of the quest. So for step 2, we've got to find the giant Exo, which is the Clovis Bray AI in the Exo facility. So this one is nice and easy, as now we have a marker placed on the map and we simply have to follow it. So there's a new door in the Exo facility, so go through there and follow the marker until you reach the giant Exo head, and this turns out to be Clovis Bray's AI, and he wants to have a chat with you.
Artificial intelligence activated. Who in the hell do you think you are?
Excuse me?
The Deep Stone Crypt has stood for centuries without intervention. From the ether, your people swoop in and destroy my work without thought.
Your work? Are you?
More than just an AI? Indeed. I am an exact replica of Clovis Bray First's consciousness. Woken, thanks to the intruders in the crypt.
Those Guardians weren't the intruders. They were trying to protect it from the Fallen.
Fallen?
An alien race that appeared after the collapse.
The collapse? Sounds like I have much to catch up on. I suppose if you're telling the truth, I should offer my gratitude to your kind. In the meantime, perhaps you can refrain from further destroying my life's work.
So for step 3, you've got to get sword kills, and for this step of the quest you need 100 Vex sword kills on Europa, and then 20 Minotaurs, Cyclops or Hydra kills with a sword, and one of the best areas for this is the Perdition Lost sector, so this is a nice repeatable activity which only really takes a few minutes, and the total can be done in about 20 minutes or so. So once you have those sword kills, it's on to step 4. So step 4, you've got to complete the post-campaign quests from Variks. What you want to do is complete the missions Reclaiming Europa, Empire's Fall and the Dark Priestess. So these are part of the post-campaign from Variks and can be a little bit lengthy if you haven't done them already, but if you have done this step then it's quickly on to the next one. If not, speak to Variks, pick up the quests and then simply complete them. So step 5, you've got to complete an Exo challenge. So after the completion of the new raid, a new quest was available from Variks if you had completed those post-campaign quests. So speak to Variks and pick up the new quest Old Secrets, New Challenges, and then follow the marker to the Exo facility, and this will direct you towards the new Exo challenges. So there's 3 challenges available, and it looks like they're on rotation. The one I had to do was called Survival, where you had to do a mixture of battling and surviving the cold, and there's a boss battle at the end. So I did have a little bit of trouble at 12:30, but I threw on Anarchy and took care of the final boss in a few minutes. So next up we got step 6, so it's kill Vex on Europa with finishers, and this one is fairly straightforward. Just kill Vex with finishers and fill up the bar to 100%. The best place for this is the Perdition Lost sector again, so head back on in there and unload some finishers on the Vex until this step is complete. So next up we've got step 7, so it's find the blade pieces, and for the next step of the quest you have to go into the Glassway Strike and collect the blade pieces. So you can select this strike from the director and the blade pieces drop from Vex towards the end of the strike. Next up it's step 8, and you have to go to speak to Banshee 44 in the tower. So simply go back to the tower, speak to Banshee, and he'll give you the next step of the quest. Next up, we've got step 9, and you have to find the abandoned bunker. So the next step of the quest is to find the bunker in Eventide Ruins, and this is simply a run of bunker E15 Lost Sector, and once you complete this, then it's on to the final step of the quest. So you'll find bunker E15 inside the middle of the building, and you can follow me to the Lost Sector here. So for the next step of the quest, we've got Save the Giant Exo in Reforging the Past mission. So for the final step of the quest, there's a new marker on the map called Reforging the Past. So make your way to the marker and then start the mission, run through as per normal, and you'll be able to pick up the Lament in the quest. So just kill the Vex and then have a chat with Clovis Bray or the Giant Exo head, and it will let you keep the Lament.
That's the last of them.
I suppose I owe you a debt of gratitude. However, I generally prefer not to be indebted to anyone. As such, you may consider the blade your property. Though you should allow this Banshee an opportunity to test its integrity once more.
You sure you're safe?
Thanks to you, yes. Until our next meeting.
So this battle is really good fun, and I really like the fact that Bungie are showing us the exotic weapons before you can pick them up. Really enjoyed watching that sword being forged, so you pick it up, take care of the Vex. Really fantastic stuff. So for the very final step of the quest, we need to go back to the tower and speak to Banshee 44. So Banshee mentions that he and the Giant Exo head are the same, which I think means Banshee 44 has been Clovis Bray all along. He says he can't remember, but boy, if that is the case, that is going to open up some really interesting stuff. So finish up the step for the quest, and that is it for the Lost Lament quest. Well, that is it for the quest, but let's have a look at the sword itself. So the Lament is an exotic power sword, and in terms of the perks, we've got Banshee's Wail, so increased damage, shield bypass, and adds shield piercing to all attacks. So you gain stacks when dealing damage with revved attacks, and additional stacks increase the damage and the damage resistance of heavy attacks. And we've also got revved consumption, so damaging a combatant heals the wielder. In terms of the stats, we've got swing speed of 46, impact of 74, 50 for stability, 70 for defense, charge rate of 32, and ammo capacity of 62. And this one is an absolutely fantastic sword and definitely rivals Falling Guillotine. So for the final thing today, let's have a look at the lore on this exotic sword. So we've got the Lament, the last thing the Vex ever heard, the grinding wails of a vicious Banshee. So from the desk of Clovis Bray, dear me, for one who has delved into some of the greatest secrets science has to offer, you'd think I'd find speaking with oneself rather monotonous. However, this very letter represents a successful culmination of all I've worked to achieve. You'll have questions, no doubt. Hopefully by now the AI has answered most of them, except one. Why? Legacy, of course, is the answer you'd expect from me, and rightfully so. It's not wrong, but it's only part of the story. Frankly, I'm alarmed. For all my successes in scientific research, I have lacked any substantial findings of an afterlife. All I can find is death, an infinite nothingness. No remembering my loved ones, no seeing them again, no feeling their touch or hearing their voices. In my pursuit of eternity in this reality, I have foregone those niceties, abandoned them, but you are a second chance. An opportunity to continue what I started, and hopefully in time make amends for those I've wronged. Attached to this letter you will find a gift, a blade built just for you. Keep it close. Never let anyone else take it. Stay alive. For legacy. Really interesting stuff there from the lore, and let me know down in the comments what you think of the Lament Exotic Sword. And that is it for this guide on how to get the Lament in Destiny 2 Beyond Light, and thank you so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. If you want to join the community, check out the Discord link in the description, or you can follow me on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Thanks again, I'll see you in the next video.